Welcome to this Halloween special edition of the Cryptic Files. Although the channel has been a little bit quiet for the last couple of months, I've been caught up with other things, I couldn't possibly miss Halloween, as it is actually the first anniversary of me launching the channel. So here you'll find a collection of 25 of possibly the best clips that we've put together over the last year. So, as they say, turn off the lights, sit back and enjoy the spookiness. Matt and Andy, also known as Finders Beepers History Seekers, are a pair of English urban explorers who investigate various buildings around the UK. In this particular investigation, they're exploring an abandoned care home somewhere in the Midlands in the United Kingdom.
Now the place itself, look at the wood cladding and how high these ceilings are. It would have been an unbelievably amazing place, but look how trashed it is. And I don't just mean a little bit, I mean a lot. Look at the state of it in here. Right, it's the washroom this, isn't it?
Yeah. As the guys explore the laundry room, complete with the old machine, there seems to be a voice somewhere in the background. Did you catch it?
It's the washroom this, isn't it?
Yeah.
This, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's, someone's obviously blocked it up and that's why we've got black stuff on ceilings. But they're old.
Later in the investigation, the guys start to head upstairs when they capture something completely unexpected.
It's because we went down to the basement, it's thrown me. Totally thrown me. That paper's, they're thick, aren't they? Wallpaper in here is like good quality wallpaper. I will say that. Yeah. So, but yeah, you can see it goes up again. Hey, wait up. Hello? Hello? I feel like there's somebody down there as well. Right, I'm going up. What the fuck? Right, I've gone cold. Oh, it might have been. I've gone cold because I saw somebody stood there. I saw a leg. Hello? You just fart. But they went that way, and there's nowhere you can go. Yeah, you can see it goes up again. Hey, wait up.
Looking back, Matt is indeed completely correct. Whatever it was, moved towards that small window. Not into the corridor, but towards the window.
A voice? I didn't hear.
I don't know if it was like a man or a woman's voice, but it was deepish.
Fucking hell.
Matt continues to explore the area, but there's no sign of anyone.
That's weird. I'm gonna have to look back at the footage. Like the noise could be from there, but I saw a leg. 100% I saw a leg.
Well, like right that.
It was like this.
Yeah.
That sort of noise. Right, I'm gonna have to watch this back. So we've just looked back at the footage. And there's definitely somebody at the top of those stairs, 100%. We've had a good look round, and I don't know where they could have gone. They can't fit through that hole where them trees were.
No.
They can't get. We're up on one of the top floors, so there's no way they've escaped.
Unless they've got the centre straight through that window.
Well, yeah, there's a window here. I'll show you. Yeah, so this seems like one of the only ways out. But if you look out of this window, it's a right drop.
So who was that at the top of the stairs? Was it somebody hiding in the building? Well, it doesn't seem like it, because the guys couldn't find anyone anywhere. So is it a ghost? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I have to admit that when I first saw this next clip, it spooked even me at first. It's pretty strange. So, what do you make of it? The video itself was uploaded to Nina Inton's TikTok channel. In it, we can see her nephew in her bedroom exploring. finds the nanny cam. But what happens next is pretty unnerving. I'd say did you see it, but it's pretty impossible to miss. Just what on earth was that? Some people have suggested that perhaps it's the cover of a magazine or a poster that's been knocked over as he moves the camera. But that's a pretty scary picture to have lying around with the kid in the house, so is it only a picture? And when the camera first picked it up, it's almost as if whatever it is looking directly at the camera. It's interesting to note that the child himself doesn't even notice there's anything there with him. So, what could it be? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Gypsy Paranormal. Gypsy Paranormal are a UK-based investigation team who have visited various locations across the UK. Gypsy Paranormal first went viral with a clip that showed a mysterious figure watching them from the rooftop of a building in Anglesey in Wales. Unfortunately, that clip seems to be no longer available. However, Gypsy unknowingly captured another ghostly figure on a different investigation. The team were asked to investigate an engineering factory in an undisclosed location in the UK. Staff there had reported seeing a dark figure, sometimes seen by machinery in the factory. During their investigation, they captured the following brief footage. Have a look. Did you see it? Well, if you didn't, I wouldn't be surprised, as it's pretty quick, but have another look at a slower speed. As the camera pans across the room, it seems to capture what looks like a hooded or cloaked figure moving to the left. Can you see it? So what have Gypsy Paranormal captured here? Is it simply a person in the factory they hadn't noticed? Maybe one of the team? Or perhaps the factory really is haunted and they've captured this on camera? But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. You can see all of Gypsy Paranormal's investigations over on the YouTube channel, which is listed in the links below. Bonus feature. Although it no longer appears to be listed on Gypsy Paranormal's own website, I have managed to find the original footage taken in Anglesey, where a figure appears to be watching the team while they attempt to record the start of the video. Unfortunately, the sound quality is quite poor due to the fact the wind was blowing quite strong, but nevertheless you can see there is somebody watching them. Have a look.
Kev, Mark and Jamie tonight as we investigate the haunted woods somewhere in Anglesey tonight. Said tonight twice, didn't I? I just want to do a takeover here as well.
So you're going over here? Well, then I'll follow you, yeah? Yeah. I'll stand here for a minute and...
Said tonight twice, didn't I? I just want to do a takeover here. Said tonight twice, didn't I? I just want to do a takeover here.
I'll stand here for a minute and...
So, what do you think? Was someone watching them from the building? Was it a member of the team? Or is the building actually haunted and this is a ghost? As always, let me know what you think in the comments below. When Lisa Foster's Ring doorbell camera alerted her to movement outside her property at 1:30 in the morning, she expected to see something perhaps mundane like an animal or perhaps a passerby. But what she captured was really quite different. Have a look. At first glance, it looks as if there's something hanging perhaps from a street light, Except that is not a street light. That's actually the moon. There's nothing there for whatever that thing is to be hanging on. So what is it? Lisa states that she's never seen anything like that either before or since this recording. In fact, here is a daylight view of the same area. As you can see, whatever it is more or less above that post, which in the daylight picture you can see means there's nothing directly above it that could be hanging from or suspended from. The trees are too far back, so what is it? One thing's for sure, the more you zoom in, the creepier it gets. So what did Lisa's doorbell cam capture outside her house that night? Whatever it is, it seems to be just suspended in mid-air, not moving. As stated previously, Lisa had never seen anything like it before or since. And yet there it is. But what do you think it is? Let me know in the comments below. Dinner guest. Suspecting that his young sister was stealing his food, Billy leaves his phone secretly recording. And it appears he was right, but he captures more than he expected. Just watch. Billy's sister appears to speak to somebody, and as she does so, something moves. Not only has the cutlery appeared to move, but his sister seems to be talking to somebody, although there's actually no one else there. Notice too how the camera seems to refocus on more than one occasion. Unfortunately, the footage ends here. What makes this really interesting is the fact that not only is the cutlery moving, which could have been done with string, but the sister would surely have said something on notice, and she does appear to be talking to somebody even though there isn't anyone there, at least no one that we can see. So is it real or is it an elaborate hoax? What do you think? TikTok poster Dino Nuggets 741 has experienced some rather unusual activity in his new apartment, some of which he's managed to capture on camera. Indeed, here is the very first thing he captured.
Hello? Hello? Keep hearing weird noises in the basement, Steve, so I just wanna... Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. No fucking way, no way, oh my god, oh my god. See, bro, there's nothing on this fucking door. Hello?
But this is by no means the only strange thing he captures.
JC, this is what I have to deal with. Here we go. Hello?
There's clearly what sounds like the voice of a woman coming from somewhere in the basement. But did you notice the figure at the beginning? The video quality itself is quite poor, having been recorded in low light, but something seems to pass between the two doorways.
Hello?
But this isn't the only time he unknowingly captures something on camera. Just watch.
Why my water bill is $600 a month. Woo, woo, woo. Good. I'm standing right here. I don't know what you want me to do, Bob. See, nothing in here, man. Nothing. Time to move. It's time to fucking move.
To use the infamous line, did you see it? Well, it was pretty fast, but have another look.
I'm standing right here.
As Dino reaches to turn the water tap off, something passes behind him very quickly. And yet when he checks the bedroom, he sees no one.
I don't know what you want me to do, Bob. See, nothing in here, man. Fuck. God damn it. This is getting old.
Dino hears and sees cutlery being thrown around. And then...
Shit! You gotta come out. What the fuck? Shit. Fuck this, I'm out of here.
So what is Dino capturing in these videos? Is his apartment indeed haunted? Or is it just an elaborate hoax? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Or you can also find a link to his TikTok channel where you have more videos. This next video is uploaded to TikTok by Opal Winfrey. Initially it starts out just as a bit of fun, and then something rather strange happens. Just watch.
You're fucked. What? What? What are you doing? Did you not hear that? No. Are you sure? Did you fucking hear that? Cindy.
All together now? Did you see it? As the girl with the red hair starts to, well, I suppose that's some kind of dance, the mirror suddenly moves. Initially, her friend who's recording didn't notice it.
What are you doing? Did you not hear that? No.
But the dog did. Notice how the dog now looks at the mirror to see what's going on. Unfortunately, the video ends there. In fact, watch the video again, and this time I'll zoom in on the dog. He does seem to be noticing something. Of course, it could be entirely possible that the mirror's movement was caused by the girls dancing. At least that's what some people viewing the video thought. So the girl who does the videoing investigates further.
So a lot of you guys are asking that I show the mirror while I jump in the same spot. So I'm just going to jump right now. And it doesn't move. I'll show it from this angle. And the mirror doesn't move.
So if it isn't the girl's rather strange dance that caused the mirror to move like that, what did? And what was the dog looking at? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. This mysterious footage was captured by Justin Johnson in Missouri whilst driving home from work. Justin was so surprised by what he was seeing, he pulled over in order to video it. This is what he captured.
Check this out. It's a cube.
Interestingly, the local news station was able to confirm that according to the FAA, there were no objects in the sky at the time. So what has Justin captured on his phone? It doesn't look like it's a drone. It seems to be moving in a very different way to how you imagine a drone would move. Perhaps it was a silver party balloon that had escaped and floated into the atmosphere. That would seem unlikely because of the way in which it seemed to be almost flashing or rotating, something a balloon probably wouldn't do.
I'm on Glenstone in Springfield, Missouri. That is a cube spinning on an axis. Flickering. It's got lights around it. In the middle of the day. In the middle of the day.
Here it is again, zoomed in and slowed down. I've tried to stabilize it as much as possible. But what is it? Is it an aircraft, unidentified? Is it a balloon? Is it a drone? Or is it something perhaps more otherworldly? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Although I only recently featured Urbix Hill in my collection of Urban Explorer videos, I really wanted to feature this one as well. Partly because it is very strange, but also it takes place in an area that I've always found absolutely fascinating. The area is Point Pleasant, which has become very famous because of the Mothman incident in the 1960s. The incident, or series of incidents with the Mothman, first began in November 1966, when a mysterious large grey creature with glowing red eyes, like headlights of a car, was spotted on wasteland known as the TNT area, which was actually a munitions plant during World War II. The area is now abandoned, but is often visited by teenagers for whatever teenagers do in abandoned land. However, this was just the first of many sightings of this mysterious creature. Things really came to a head in December 1967 when the Silver Bridge that crossed the Ohio River collapsed, killing 46 people. And it was reported that this sightings of the Mothman may well be connected somehow with the collapse of the bridge, as the sightings themselves seemed to diminish significantly after the incident, although they did continue for a number of years afterwards. While already being picked up by the national press, the story of the Mothman itself became even more famous when writer and researcher John Keel became involved in the case and wrote the book entitled The Mothman Prophecies, which documented some of the strange and bizarre happenings that had occurred during this time. This book was then turned into a movie in 2002 entitled The Mothman Prophecies, starring Richard Gere. Also, on a more personal level, I actually know someone who lives in the area, so I was very intrigued to see that Urbix Hill was exploring part of Point Pleasant. Rather sensibly, he doesn't actually say where in Point Pleasant these tunnels are, but my guess would be somewhere probably around the TNT area. But nevertheless, they're very interesting. So let's have a look at some of the strange things he captured, and one incident in particular is absolutely fascinating.
As you can see, the further you go down, the less graffiti you see. Alright, let's go.
Initially, Chris's exploration is interesting but largely uneventful as he delves deeper and deeper into the tunnels. But as Chris continues to explore deeper and deeper into the tunnels, the water gradually gets deeper and the tide is even stronger. Also, the air is filled with moisture created by the boiling water, making it harder and harder to see or hear properly. Eventually he comes to a junction, and Chris pauses to decide which way to go next, and inadvertently films down one of the corridors, without really giving a consideration to what he might be capturing. But what he captures is remarkable. Keep watching the far end of the tunnel. Two lights appear, almost like eyes. He darts back and looks again, but is joined by a second set of eyes lower than the first. Completely unaware of what he's just captured, Chris now starts to explore the tunnel. As Chris rounds the corner, we can now see that whatever it was has disappeared. There's no sign of either of them. Where did they go? Let's have a closer look at what Chris has captured. While the taller one seems to be no more than a set of eyes, the shorter one actually has a body. You have to look very closely, but it's there. Watch again with contrast and brightness improved. Watch closely as I loop the little one jumping backwards and forwards. You can see his left arm sticking out and what appears to be legs. Notice too how the short guy actually seems to kick the water as he retreats. Oblivious to the fact that Chris has captured such a strange anomaly, he continues to follow the corridor. But there's no sign of those mysterious creatures anywhere. However, despite the fact that Chris has no idea he's caught something on camera at this point, he does notice something else later on.
What the fuck? Did y'all hear that? Sounded like somebody screamed.
It certainly did sound like a scream from a human rather than an animal. But there's no sign of anything that could possibly have made that noise.
Yes. Outside, at last.
Chris eventually finds his way back to the entrance of the tunnels and heads back out. But what did Chris capture on video in those tunnels? Were those beings real? Well, I've actually communicated with Chris via Facebook, and I would say that I'm absolutely convinced that he certainly did not fake any of this. So what did he capture? Was somebody fooling around and followed them into the tunnels? Or is it something genuinely paranormal? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. This next video is really rather brief, but it's also quite odd. It's another example of an outdoor security camera picking up something strange. Very often these sorts of things are caused by things like insects going by, or cobwebs from spiders, or just even leaves blowing by. But this one doesn't seem to be any of those three. It is quite quick, so you have to pay close attention, but just watch. The camera detects movement and starts to record. There appears to be something walking across in the background that stops when it reaches the garage doors and disappears when the security lights come on. It certainly looks like someone walking towards the garage doors, except they disappear when they reach them. So what is this strange anomaly that the camera's captured? Is it indeed some paranormal entity walking towards the garage doors? Or is there another explanation for this strange footage? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Now used as an indoor laser tag arena, the village, as the building is known, dates back to the 1700s, where it was used as a malt house run by a Mr. Merriweather, who treated his staff appallingly, leading to a number of deaths. However, prior to this, in the 1500s, the site was occupied by a barn, which according to a local legend was burnt down whilst containing a number of monks who were hiding from authorities during the dissolution of the monasteries under King Henry VIII. The building was eventually turned into a nightclub, which unfortunately closed down, leaving the building itself unoccupied for a number of years, before the laser tag finally moved in. However, as a consequence of all this strange and interesting history, the building is believed to be haunted. Noted activity includes the sighting of monks, Mr. Merriweather himself, the one-time owner of the building, and a woman named Christine who is believed to have died in the building, along with her young child. Indeed, the sound of baby cries have been heard throughout the lower rooms. In October 2021, the North Nottinghamshire Paranormal Group were given the opportunity to investigate. This is what they captured. Having witnessed what Malcolm, the team leader, describes as a light anomaly along a corridor, he decided to investigate whilst filming down the corridor. The camera pans back and forth. Did you see it? As the camera pans by a wall, there's a small square window in the centre. There was no space for anything to hide behind that false wall because the real wall is only a few inches behind it. And yet there appears to be someone looking out the window. Team leader Malcolm was certain there was nothing behind the wall when he first videoed, and yet clearly something has shown up. So what is it? Is it actual proof that the building is indeed haunted by the many supposed ghosts that have been recorded? Or was it some strange mark on the wall? That seems unlikely, as the team are certain there was nothing behind the wall at the time. So it is something of a mystery. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. The following footage was captured on a Nest home security camera, filming the back garden. Everything's fine at first, and then a cat appears. Nothing strange about that. Until the cat starts to move and disappears. And despite the fact the video is over 5 minutes long, there is absolutely no sign of the cat in the subsequent footage. So it's either moving at light speed or has completely vanished. Initially, there is absolutely no sign of the cat, or so it seems, but if you look very carefully, it seems to appear from through the fence. Unfortunately, we can't really tell from this distance on the scale of the image whether or not there's a gap in the fence he's walked through that, but it does almost appear as if he's walked through the fence. While it is certainly true that faster moving objects on a home Nest camera will blur because of the slow frame rate, however the cat seems to disappear completely. So we have a cat that's either capable of warp speed or is able to vanish completely, maybe teleporting. What do you think? Is this some kind of strange camera glitch? Or is there something very strange about that cat? Is it indeed a ghost? This next recording comes in two sections, two different events on the same investigation. The investigation itself was held at Coalhouse Fort, which is on the Thames Estuary in Essex in the UK. The fort itself has stood since Napoleonic times, having been built during those wars, built up further during the First World War and then again during the Second World War, to become quite a large base. But the base has long since fallen into disuse and is now surrounded by a country park. The location is available for investigations and has a very interesting area which consists of a single corridor which runs the entire perimeter of the base, with about 20 rooms leading off of the corridor. Each one of the rooms was used for storing ammunition, so the idea was if one room exploded it wouldn't set off the whole base. Interestingly, there have been a number of occasions where people have experienced strange activity in that corridor, including noises, bangs, and even voices. In fact, one suggestion is that it's because it's dug into the ground itself that perhaps it's disturbed something much older that lurks on the site. But during this particular investigation, the first recording you'll hear was during a walk around of the site. You hear two people talking and then there's a loud noise. The strange thing is, the corridor is completely made of stone. There was nothing in the corridor that could create that sound. Yet you'll clearly hear it. Have a listen.
Literally just put some.
As you can tell, judging by the volume and clarity of the noise, it's pretty close to the microphone. And yet no one noticed it. There was no reaction, no expression of surprise, just a loud clang. Here it is again.
Literally just put some. Literally just put some.
As I say, there was literally nothing in the corridor that could account for that noise. This second recording is a little more complicated, so I'll briefly explain what you're hearing. You'll briefly hear the mumbled voice of a medium who's walking ahead of the group. Then a man's voice says it's him again, referring to what the medium has just said, and then another voice, which is completely different to the two voices you just heard. Here's the recording. It's unclear what the voice is saying, as it certainly doesn't sound like it's English. Here it is again. So what do you think of these strange audio recordings picked up at Coalhouse Fort? Well, one thing I can say for absolute certain is these are all genuine recordings. There's no tricks, no fakery here, because, as you may have guessed, I recorded them. While the great majority of these home CCTV videos are actually recorded at night, here's one that's caught in broad daylight. As the camera continues to film, it captures something moving from the extreme left of the picture diagonally towards the woods. It looks as if it disappears into the trees. It may still be just something drifting past the camera close up and out of focus, but it is odd how it disappears when it reaches the trees. So what do you think it is? Is it something paranormal, or is it something that can be easily explained? As always, let me know in the comments below. This mysterious footage was captured by Justin Johnson in Missouri whilst driving home from work. Justin was so surprised by what he was seeing, he pulled over in order to video it. This is what he captured.
Check this out. It's a cube.
Interestingly, the local news station was able to confirm that according to the FAA, there were no objects in the sky at the time. So what has Justin captured on his phone? It doesn't look like it's a drone. It seems to be moving in a very different way to how you imagine a drone would move. Perhaps it was a silver party balloon that had escaped and floated into the atmosphere. That would seem unlikely because of the way in which it seemed to be almost flashing or rotating, something a balloon probably wouldn't do.
I'm on Glenstone in Springfield, Missouri. That is a cube spinning on an axis, flickering. It's got lights around it in the middle of the day. In the middle of the day.
Here it is again, zoomed in and slowed down. I've tried to stabilize it as much as possible. But what is it? Is it an aircraft, unidentified? Is it a balloon? Is it a drone? Or is it something perhaps more otherworldly? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. As a teenager, Adam Mawson realised there was something rather strange about his family home in Yorkshire, England. Rather disturbingly, Adam discovered that the house was actually built on the site of a former cemetery. Beginning in 1992, Adam began to document the various strange happenings he was experiencing in the family home. In this particular piece of video footage we're about to watch, Adam and his younger brother attempted to film what was going on in the hallway in the upstairs part of the house. What they captured was unbelievable. Watch. This is the original video footage. I've made no changes to it whatsoever, other than removing the original sound. What first appears to be a figure, either standing in front or seated on the chair. The text you are seeing was added to the video by the original YouTube uploader, link to which is in the description below. So it's up to you whether you want to take what they're saying or mine. But it appears the figure then rises up from the chair, possibly moving towards the camera, certainly moving towards our left, before moving to the right and disappearing out of frame, before returning, seemingly even taller, perhaps closer to the camera, before again disappearing to the right, before returning again and moving across to the left. And as the text says, a second shorter figure seems to appear and move from left to right, again disappearing to the left. It's worth remembering this video footage was recorded in the early 1990s, long before the likes of Adobe Premiere and other home video editing software, so it would have been practically impossible to have created this on any kind of computer, at least that Adam could have accessed. So what are we seeing here? Is this some kind of clever fake? Or is it real? Whatever it is, it's pretty spooky. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe it's real, or has he somehow managed to fake it? You decide. The Cage, St Osoph's, Essex in the UK. Now you're probably wondering, why am I featuring a video that's been covered by so many other people before? But before I get into that, here's a bit of background on The Cage in St Osoph's. Incidentally, of all the people who've covered this, I'm probably the only one who's actually been there. More of that later. St Osoph's itself is set in the heart of the English countryside in the county of Essex. The town's quite small, no more than a large village, but it has quite a sinister history to it. Starting from the mid-1580s, the small building at the end of the village was used as a prison. But not just any prison, this one actually held people who were accused and charged with witchcraft. Exactly who and for how long people were held there is unknown. However, records show that at least 14 people were executed for witchcraft who all lived in the village itself, so maybe some of them were held there. Although this is all a matter of speculation, of course. Nonetheless, this place has a very sinister history. But is it haunted? While the cage itself has been investigated by a number of different teams over the years, Brian Mack's investigation of the cage in 2017 captures something really quite remarkable. Have a look at the footage. The footage itself was captured during a seance as they attempted to contact one of the witches that may have died in the building. They didn't seem to contact the witch herself directly, but something very strange appears to be happening, noticed by Gary in the control room. Watch the woman in the center right. Notice her face. As you can see, the woman whose face apparently changed is asked to go downstairs to join the rest of the team. She seems unaware that her face has changed as she leaves. However, while most people have focused on the woman in the middle, the supposed witch face, have a look at the people either side of her. Both the woman to her left and the man to her right, their faces are distorting too. Notice the woman on the left, her face has become puffed out with very dark eyes and a much more pointy chin. While the man on the right, his face is completely distorted and looks almost demonic. So what's actually happening here? Could it be that we're actually witnessing multiple possessions by various entities? Or perhaps there's a fault with the camera. Maybe the camera's creating this effect. It really is hard to tell, but certainly they appear very strange. But let me know what you think about this video imagery. Is it real, or is it just a camera problem? But let me know what you think about this video you've just watched. If you want to read more about Brad Mack's investigation of the cages and OSIFs, you can find a link to his website in the links below. Oh, and as I mentioned at the start, I've been to the cage myself a number of years ago on an investigation. While I didn't capture anything as good as the video you've just watched, I did capture something in one of the rooms upstairs. Have a look at this photograph. Much of what you can see is obviously simply just dust caught in the flash, but what that thing to the right is a mystery. I have no idea. Here's another photograph taken just seconds after the first one. As you can see, whatever it is, has gone. It's not my finger, and there's no strap on the phone case, so it's a mystery. And finally, you might also recognize the painting that's in the room. It doesn't belong at the cage. It was there as part of the investigation. But more about that another time. The following was sent into an online radio show called Spooky South Coast, which is based in Bedford, Massachusetts, and was captured on home CCTV. Did you see it? Well, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't, because it was incredibly fast, but there was something very interesting going on here. Have another look with the footage slowed down and see if you can spot it. On the far right of the frame appears to be what can only be described as a figure of a woman emerging from behind the beam. Now, it's hard to get any idea of scale from what we're looking at, except those steps give us an idea that this could be a person-sized shape. But what is it? Certainly very strange. Here's the footage again, with the light enhanced and brightened. So has his home security system actually captured a ghost? Or is it something else? Well, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. North Jersey Paranormal Research was founded in 2004 and is a group of professional investigators who specialize in researching hauntings and other paranormal phenomena in the tri-state area of New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. But together, the team have had many years of experience investigating the paranormal. On this particular investigation, the team visit the Red Mill Museum in Clinton, New Jersey, and during a walk around at the location, team member Ed films whilst using his FLIR thermal imaging camera. This is what he captured. As the camera records the rear of the room, it catches something, an area that seems brighter than the surrounding area. Now, with the FLIR imaging camera, the brighter something is, the warmer it is. Therefore, there has to be something present to create the warm patch. Here's the same footage again, but this time slowed down and zoomed in on the area. Every member of the team was accounted for at the time, so be sure it isn't one of them. So what is it? Having discovered the strange anomaly in the video footage, the team tried to recreate the image to see if they can find a cause for the warm patch. However, as you can see, there's nothing that would create the effect. So what caused it? As you can see from the still picture, the area that the anomaly appears in is beside the door, in that small area beneath the angled beam. But there's nothing there that could have created it. There's no heat source that could explain the image. So what is it that they captured on their investigation? There seems to be no obvious explanation. So, is it a ghost? Is it haunted? Though the idea that a ghost generates heat rather than appearing to be cold might seem a little strange, it's not unprecedented that such things have occurred. So it doesn't necessarily mean because it's not a cold patch but a warm patch that it isn't paranormal. Or is it something else, something easily explainable? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. You can find more of the group's paranormal investigations listed in the links. Late one evening, St Albans resident in the UK, Matt, is disturbed by his phone registering something at the front door. When Matt checked the video footage, he expected to see a person, but what he actually saw utterly amazed him. Instead of an unexpected visitor, Matt saw something moving through the sky. Have a look at what he captured. Here it is again with better contrast, and this time I'm going to zoom into it to see if we can see more of whatever it is. Matt tried to debunk the video himself by checking an online flight tracker to see if there were any aircraft flying over his area. However, when he checked, there was nothing listed. So, what has he captured? Is it perhaps a drone? But drones don't tend to have bright lights like that late at night, or indeed at any time. Is it an aircraft? Well, certainly the light pattern is unusual for any particular aircraft flying over, and as Matt had already discovered, there was nothing listed that should be flying over. So what is it? Has Matt captured a UFO? Or is there some other, more ordinary explanation? What do you think? This next video is a little different to my usual content, as it's actually somebody else's commentary regarding a photograph. But I thought it was very, very interesting, very straightforward, very precise as to what was going on. So have a look. The video was recorded in October 2018, so I'm going to assume that perhaps the photograph was probably taken the previous summer.
So you join us here today at Church Cove in Gunwallow. Earlier this year, we had a really interesting email from Warren. Hello, Warren. We've come down here to follow up his story. Let's go down to the church. Warren and his family come down to Cornwall regularly, spent many holidays down here. They also enjoy a bit of ghost hunting. Attached to his email was this picture. Let's explain.
Story behind this picture, me and my dad and family have been going to Cornwall for years, and we decided one day to visit Church Cove. You have to park up and have a nice little walk down through the trail to get to there. Present there was me, my little brother who's in the photo, well he's actually a big lad, and my dad. My dad and my brother walked to the end of the little pathway where the photo was taken. When you come out of the church, the main door, I stood on a little step which is to the right, and I thought I'll get a photo because you can see the sea in the background. So I took the photo, didn't notice anything until we got home. So we just carried on with our day. We got home, I was just looking through the photos, and then we came across this photo. You can see my dad with, he has a bald head, my brother's looking directly towards me. The figure on the right hand side, the big large figure in black with a bowler hat on, God knows where he came from. The professional conclusion, which basically stated that it's extremely clear that it's a big black figure with the actual sea line going through the figure, and also the vegetation in front of the figure. You would have to be extremely advanced on Photoshop to create something like that.
So you're going to go and stand where Warren's brother and his dad was,
I'm going to recreate this shot.
and the shadow figure.
Tell me if you see something, alright?
Yeah.
I do feel as if I've been watched.
Do you?
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Has the image accidentally captured a ghost? Or was there a person standing there that nobody noticed? The latter seems unlikely, as it would be hard to miss that figure if he was actually standing there. Yet the family are adamant that no one was standing there at the time. Patrick and Jason of the Haunted Side Paranormal Investigations carry out their investigation of the famous Clean Water Demon House. Legend has it that dozens of people have lost their lives in this property, as well as being the site of various occult activities, whatever that means. But it's believed that it fuels dark energy presences that can be found and experienced within the house. So, did they find anything? Well, there's a pretty good chance they did, because this footage is particularly impressive.
Alright guys, so we're standing out front of the Clean Water Demon House. Literally the building right behind me looks like it used to be an old barn, and then they've got the actual house just over here to my left. I think we're going to grab the SLS camera and the Ovilus and kind of do a walkthrough of the main house, because we've got a night vision camera and the GS2 set up in the barn right now. So let's grab the SLS camera, let's grab the Ovilus, and let's head in there and just kind of do a walk around and see what's going on. Yeah, so there's the night vision camera, and then there's the GS2 setup. Alright.
You're gonna turn that on, it's just gonna start being like evil.
Yeah, we'll see.
Floor. Tragic. Left.
Tragic.
Priest.
Well, Jason was certainly right. Floor means nothing, but tragic, priest, left, could be left-hand path, a term for witchcraft and magic.
Ooh, I got dizzy there for a second.
Note exactly where Patrick says he felt dizzy for a moment. It's important.
Are you figuring out how to use this?
Roger.
Said Rod? Maybe we get the other laser grid.
While finding the building somewhat unnerving and a little spooky, the guys don't capture anything particularly obvious on camera. At least not yet, until they head back into the main building. But the capture on video is quite possibly some of the best evidence the Haunted Side have ever recorded.
And the night vision camera.
Okay.
We head outside to grab the night vision camera, and then on our way back inside, it captures something truly terrifying.
Cord as well. Okay, yeah, let's take this stair. I don't know what it is about that staircase, but it just doesn't feel good. What was that?
What?
I don't think that was a shadow, but it was on the other side of that window.
Right as I was walking back into the house, I just happened to glance down at the camera's LED screen. I thought I saw some kind of black shadow behind that window, but I didn't even realize until I reviewed the footage that I'd captured probably one of the best shadow figures I've ever seen. And here's where it gets even more compelling. This is the shot from the camera that was sitting inside of that room. I'm gonna sync up the audio from this camera to our cameras and show you that there's no explainable reason that something should have been behind that door.
I don't know what it is about that staircase, but it just doesn't feel good. What was that?
What?
I don't think that was a shadow. It was on the other side of that window.
Had we realized in the moment what we'd captured, I don't think we would have walked by that door so casually.
I don't know what it is.
So what exactly did Patrick capture on camera there? Let's have a closer look.
I don't know what it is about that staircase, but it just doesn't feel good.
Interestingly, Patrick thinks he's only caught the image on the infrared, the green. However, Jason does appear to just catch it for a moment on the full colour camera.
What was that?
Also, this is exactly where Patrick said he felt dizzy
I
earlier.
think that was a shadow.
A coincidence?
But it was on the other side of that window.
Had we realized in the moment what we captured, I don't think we would have walked by that door so casually.
Can you show yourself on that staircase again? Ooh, did you hear that?
I thought it was you.
No, it was like out there. Look.
So what did Jason and Patrick capture in that video? Is it indeed a ghostly presence, a shadow figure perhaps? Or is it something else? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. You can see the full video of their investigation of the Cleanwater Demon House over on the YouTube channel, including part 2 of this interesting investigation. You can find a link in the descriptions below. While one of my esteemed colleagues in the world of ghost videos has already pointed out a number of anomalies in this particular piece of footage, there are a couple of scenes that both the original uploader and the top 5 video person seem to have missed, so I thought we'd check it out. But first, some background. The Bearded Explorer is a UK-based urban explorer who's visited a number of locations across the UK. Most of his videos are interesting explorations of derelict buildings, but virtually none of them feature anything paranormal, apart from this one.
Come to explore an abandoned hospital. Now this hospital is meant to be really creepy and there's a lot of stuff in there. So let's go and check it out and see what we can find. Okay, so I found a way into this hospital. Oh, I can smell it as soon as I get in. Wow. Oh my goodness me, this is super, super creepy. Wow, this is so cool. Look at all of the furniture in here. Wow. This must have been a ward. I've just noticed the curtain rails hanging up. I'm actually stood inside one at the moment. Ah, look at that. Visitors are not permitted to smoke.
Whilst Mr. Bearded's exploration of the building initially shows nothing unusual other than a very derelict building, apart from the odd strange sound, it isn't until later on when he's starting to take some cinematic photographs and filming that really strange things begin to happen. Just watch. Okay, that was all pretty fast and quite frantic, but has the Bearded Explorer actually captured something? Have a look, because it appears he has. It's not easy to make out, but there does appear to be some kind of movement at the end of the corridor. Here it is again, zoomed in and slowed down. It is hard to make out, but there appears to be some kind of movement in this area. But whatever it is, it scares the hell out of the Bearded Explorer and he gets the hell out of there and ends his investigation. For now, at least. After numerous requests from his viewers, the Bearded Explorer decides to return to the hospital on Halloween 2021, which coincidentally is the same night I launched this channel.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to tonight's special Halloween video. So tonight I have come back to the hospital where I caught something on camera. I'm not going to say whether it was a ghost, I don't know what it was. But tonight I am here on my own, as you can see in the pitch black. And we're going to take a walk around this hospital. It's going to be absolutely terrifying. So let's go and see what happens. Oh God, cannot believe that I am doing this on my own at night. Oh, okay. Okay, right. Definitely not going up that way first, I'm going this way first. Why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? I think I'm talking a lot just so I can like distract my mind, because I cannot believe I'm in here on my own at night. This is creepy. This is definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, the creepiest thing I have ever done in my life. Oh, this is... I just can't describe to you guys, like, how scared I am right now. I'm just absolutely in myself. I really am. Why am I doing this? Why am I here on my own, walking around this abandoned hospital that I saw something? I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a ghost. It wasn't a shadow. I mean, I can show you guys now, right? This is basically where I was standing. This is where I was. The camera was literally there. This is what you saw. Basically that. I ran back here, and as I picked it up, I went like that, and then I saw something just behind that blue chair. Now, bearing in mind I saw it with my own eyes, I didn't realise I had it on camera, but a lot of you guys were saying it's shadows, it's this, it's that, but, you know, I just cannot stress to you enough that this wasn't a shadow. I actually saw something move with my own eyes, and as you can tell, I'm probably putting off going up there. But, oh, Jesus Christ.
But just as the bearded explorer is finishing his explanation of what he saw,
Right.
he hears something.
Let's do this. What the hell was that?
Can you see it? Well, clearly the bearded explorer didn't see it, and neither did my YouTube colleague see it. But can you?
What the hell was that? What the hell was that?
Our intrepid explorer doesn't spot it, but if you look closely, you can see there's a light or lamp swinging.
What the hell was that? I'm sure I heard something. I don't know. It's probably just a wind.
Unaware of what he's captured, Mr. Explorer continues.
I mean, it is a little bit windy out there today, but it's not. What was that? Okay, this is the worst part for me. I mean, I did come back here with Taser, and it was about 3 or 4 days after this happened, because it was playing on my mind so much. I felt that I had to come back here and just come here again and just see, you know, try and find a reason, you know, like an explanation, if you like, to...
From this point on, our intrepid explorer starts to hear more and more sounds around him.
But I never put... This is weird. I think it is just... Whoa. Okay. Okay, that's scary. I'm pretty sure it is just water dripping, but... Oh...
Okay, I'm going to freeze the footage for a moment here because I want you to notice something on the floor. There, circled, is a ball. Make a note of that because that's important.
God, this is absolutely... What the fuck? No, I'm hearing noises all around me. I don't know what it is. There is... What is it about this place?
As the bearded explorer pans round, something's changed.
Oh, I hate this place, I really do. Just listening. Just listening. Just listening.
And with that, the bearded explorer is out of there.
Oh, God. Right. I'm never coming back here again.
So what did the bearded explorer encounter in the building? On both occasions. Who or what moved that ball? Is it real proof that the place is actually haunted? I certainly think the bearded explorer thinks so, despite saying before he was a skeptic. He's clearly captured something on camera. But what do you think? Is this all real? Or is someone perhaps playing a joke on him? Is it really haunted? Or just a hoax? Let me know what you think in the comments below. You can see both full investigations over on the Bearded Explorer's YouTube channel. which is listed in the descriptions.
I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words. I genuinely am lost for words. I'm just glad I'm back at the car.
This next set of clips are a rather strange topic I've always wanted to cover, because it's probably one of the most mysterious, and that is the strange noises that come from the sky. Here are some examples from all over the world. No explanation as to what they are, just very strange.
What was that?
Stay holding.
No, I don't know where it was. Oh, where'd it come from? We're in the middle of nowhere.
All around us.
Well, call me nuts, but I reckon that came from out there. But, well, unless the trees backed it down and... Oh, it's cold. Unless the trees made it echo, I don't know. I've never heard a sound like that before.
I don't like it.
It did have an element of eerie, isn't it? Yeah. My phone's about to die anyway. I don't want to be out here with no phone. So there it is again, do you hear that?
I really don't like it. I'm going back.
Oh, don't go just yet. Maybe if we just went a bit further up, we might see something.
Shit, what was that?
Fuck knows. Oh, this is it. Maybe it wasn't 2012, it was 2013. Fucking hell. Alright, okay. It's not an animal, is it? Oh yeah, that was loud. Alright. Hang on, I've got to turn this off. Fuck, I don't like this.
One of the reasons why I've always wanted to feature these strange sounds, or skyquakes as they're called, is because I've heard them myself. Many years ago, while I was visiting a friend, walking over a large golf course, suddenly from nowhere, heard a strange sound that seemed to be coming from directly above me. The first was what I can only describe as a clang, quite loud and resonated, and then a rumble that followed it. But the rumble was nothing like thunder. In fact, it was pretty much a clear sky, so it definitely wasn't a thunderstorm. It was just a loud clang, a vibration of it, and then a rumble. It was above me, and I have never heard the same thing again at all. Very strange. The following footage was uploaded by Ashley Height to her YouTube channel, although that's probably not her in the video itself. Clearly the camera is pointing out towards the road and probably their car, so I'm imagining it's more of a security camera than anything else. But what it captures is nothing to do with security, but everything to do with, possibly, the paranormal. Have a look. So to use the immortal words, did you see it? Well, it was pretty fast, so I wouldn't be surprised if you missed it, but let's have another look. As the man without the shirt adjusts the window, something seems to move past at great speed behind him. It is a reflection in the window, not something that's outside. So what is it? Whatever it is, it's moving so fast it only appears in 12 frames of video. The first thought obviously would be that perhaps it's a child, but would the child be running that fast, silently, unnoticed by the man at the window? It seems unlikely. And as the original uploader has labelled this as a ghost in her living room, it's unlikely that Ashley has children. So what is it? Is it paranormal? Or is it something else? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Franco TV is a regular urban explorer / ghost hunter who, more often than not, inadvertently captures paranormal activity in his videos without even realising it. On this particular investigation, Frank is investigating the Edison house, apparently built on a Native American burial site. So it's hardly surprising that some rather strange activity is captured. Just watch.
Blood spatter over the walls, and it's kind of cold in here. I don't know if those are bullet holes or what on the wall. You see here?
Early on in his investigation of the property, Frank captures a voice. But what did he capture? Here I've amplified the volume. See if you can hear it. Following capturing the voice, Franco decides to head outside to see if there was anybody in the vicinity. However, there doesn't appear to be anyone there. But as he pans the camera around, did you see it? Just briefly, the camera light seems to catch something between the door frame and the door itself. Is there someone watching him from inside the building, and did they suddenly move out of the way? What do you think? Is that a face looking through the gap? Possibly a young girl or woman? One thing's for sure, Frank had absolutely no idea the person was there.
That would have been it.
Having checked the grounds and not noticed that he's being watched from the doorframe, Frank returns to the house and continues to explore upstairs.
Oh my god, that's the last thing you want to see, the freaking handprint.
There's a knock from somewhere in the building.
God, man. Oh my god, I'm so freaking shaking. That's freaky. There's freaking rooms everywhere, man.
As he continues to explore, Frankie discovers an X-ray hanging on the wall. As Franco continues to explore, he hears all sorts of sounds around him, things being dropped or thrown, and yet there's no one else in the building.
I'm hearing all sorts of noises everywhere now.
However, the most unnerving thing that Frank captures is about to happen. Just watch.
Why it's going deal with that. That's kind
Totally unnoticed by Frank, as he descends the stairs, the door behind him swings open.
can't deal with that. Okay, so right now,
Unaware that he's already captured a number of paranormal events around the house, Frankie now settles down to attempt the Charlie experiment. This involves having two pencils, one balanced on top of the other at right angles to the one beneath, and asks questions. If there's anything present, the pencils start to move, and it goes rather well.
is there anyone that's Oh my god, I got goosebumps, and the room got cold. That is weird. Is there an Indian demon that walks this area? Are you here with me? Do you wish me to leave this area? Did it just move? Can you move it more, please? Can you show me a sign that you're here? Oh my god. Oh, that is spooky.
Unfortunately, at the very moment things are starting to get very interesting, Frankie's battery fails, and the session ends in complete darkness.
So, my battery just randomly drained on my camera. That seems to happen to me in a lot of places, which is weird. I'm hearing noises, weird sound effects going on, and I'm a little bit concerned.
So what do you think? Is the building actually haunted? Has Frankie captured some real evidence of paranormal activity? Or is there somebody else actually in the building with him, either known or unknown to Frankie? You decide. Let me know what you think in the comments below. You can see the full video and all of Frankie's adventures over on his YouTube channel, which is listed in the links below. If you've made it this far and have enjoyed watching this Halloween collection of early Cryptic File videos, please do still subscribe and keep an eye on the channel. The channel may be a bit quiet now for the rest of 2022, but I will certainly be back in 23 with a whole new host of videos, so please do stay tuned. But thanks for now.